Dark Souls 2 is the black sheep of the family, and it's often regarded as a bad Dark Souls entry, but I'm here to convince you that Dark Souls 2 is actually the most charming Dark Souls game. The lore and the story of Dark Souls 2 feels very different from the rest of the Souls games. As odd as it might sound, Dark Souls 2's story almost sounds like an old fairy tale. The story goes that there was a king that trusted his deceitful wife and waged war on the neighboring kingdom of giants in order to escape his fate, but he fell victim to the same fate he sought to avoid. And if that's not proof enough for you, let's look at the beginning of the game, where your protagonist meets the three Firekeepers. And for my last point, I want to point out that Dark Souls 2 is the most character-driven of all Dark Souls games. The Firekeeper feels like an actual character and not just a servant that you only level up through. Even your character, the protagonist, is given a cutscene in the beginning of the game, actually showing that you've had a past and people to care for. Also, Dark Souls 2 is the only game that has you talk to the last boss of the game before actually fighting them.